Welcome to Winning on Wednesday. My name is Juan Vides, and the purpose we're here is to simply get to know each other. I always say people do business who they know, like, and trust. And know, like, and trust, and I'd like to introduce my friend Jazmine Tirado. How are you, Jasmine?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for having us. Can you quickly introduce yourself, please?
Yes, so I'm Jazmine Tirado. I'm the Vice President of K4 Construction and also the President of K4 Tirado Group.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did it all get started? Where did you grow up?
So I was born in Fairfax, Virginia. I was there for my younger years until I was in middle school. My parents got divorced, unfortunately. So that landed me in New Jersey. From New Jersey, I landed here in the great city of New York.
Oh wow, excellent. And tell us about when you were a kid. Did you have any ideas what you wanted to do, or any inspirations, or what did you any ideas? Because we all had different ideas when growing up.
For sure. Fortunately, I wasn't like my other siblings where they knew exactly what they wanted. They were so talented. I was more, I was more open-minded. I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I was between doing administration, nursing, and then I wanted to model. A lot of different things until life kind of steered me into the construction industry.
Or what about any role models or anybody that inspired you? Any role models when you're growing up?
Definitely my father. My mother as well. My father has a corporate background, and my mother as well. They both work for ExxonMobil.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, so seeing them, work hard and just making sure that we had the best life possible was definitely inspiring for
And
sure.
I could see I'm being exposed to that too. Being to exposed to that at a young age. Seeing them from the corporate angle. And being
Yeah,
at a young age. That's amazing. You wow.
for sure.
Well, I do that sometimes with my kids. Sometimes I don't do that as often, but sometimes you gotta take that business call. But sometimes that does happen. Um,
Yeah.
so tell us about hobbies or interests. Do you have any hobbies or interests?
Nowadays I don't have a lot of time to do that, but before I did write a lot. I listen to a lot of music, a lot of podcasts now. With everything that I'm involved in now, it's really, really hard to do that. But I am in a different place in life right now where I am working on myself from the inside out. That, kind of forces me to stop time to dedicate more into reading and paying attention to what's going on internally.
Now you mentioned a topic that I truly love and have a passion in. You said music. So I gotta listen. I gotta say, hey, who are you listening to? Like, who do you like, or because music connects us all. Like, you know what I mean. You said music is definitely an influence.
I don't really have a specific genre, but I do love my Latino music for sure. I've always been really big in classical music as well.
Mm.
Growing up, I did play the violin, so that kind of relaxes me and puts me in a centered mindset as well, especially when there's so much going on around me, for sure.
Yeah, but even with I got to appreciate Latin music as well too. With there's so many instruments, so many percussions, so many things going on at the same time, and to create something, it's amazing. It does. True from the artistic point of view, I could appreciate that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So definitely. So tell us about your first job, the way you got first started, and tell us about the journey of what you do in that, like, to what do you doing today, like the journey from your
My
first job, yeah, to what you're doing now.
So my career started 14 years ago, when I was 18. Straight out of high school. I did a little bit of college, then I ended up in New York. And at that point, I was in a crossroads in my life. It's either I stay in New Jersey living with mom, working for a bank, or I go to New York and I work for a residential general contractor in Port Chester, New York. So I decided to be uncomfortable with being uncomfortable, and I chose the New York position. And so that started my career in construction. I was an office manager. I was there for about 8 years or so. Within that time, I left to work for other companies and came back. It definitely gave me a sense of what was out there. But I worked alone and I'm not from New York. So that definitely kept me isolated and very, very focused in my career, for
And
sure.
I mean, being a woman in construction, obviously, it's not as easy, right? I'm sure you faced a lot of, you know, you've been through a
Yes,
lot.
yes, definitely being young and being isolated as well and not really knowing what's out there, not knowing about any organizations or support groups or anything like that to kind of help me. And so, there was a lot of hard moments, a lot of moments where I wanted to give up, a lot of moments where I went to the bathroom and cried, but I had a responsibility to myself. And I needed to make it. I was here alone. And so I stuck it out. And until I didn't find another position that was for K4 construction, and I worked for Sprout as well, I didn't really get to know the other side of the industry, which is the commercial side. Being that I was in residential for so long, that opened my horizons to organizations and people and just getting out there more. And I like explored a whole different life, which is really interesting now that I, sit back and I think about it.
Wow, that's amazing. You know what? I think this is a great moment for the golden nugget moment. And the golden nugget moment is where you want to leave any piece of information behind to better somebody with their career or be a better entrepreneur or anything that you learned out of your experience that you learned from your journey.
For sure. One key piece of advice that has truly shaped my career is the importance of resilience and adaptability. Growing up, especially after my parents' divorce, I learned to navigate uncertainties and embrace change, especially moving up here into New York alone and not really knowing what my next step was, except for where I was at that moment. That mindset has definitely been very invaluable to me and in business where the challenges are inevitable in anything that we go through in life. So learning and evolving and staying focused on helping others as well, not only has helped me overcome obstacles, but has also propelled my career forward. So I would say, continue to seek the opportunities, grow, stay adaptable, and never underestimate the power of compassion in business.
Wow, that's great information, and you hit something else, compassion. I always say there needs to be more love and compassion
Yeah,
in the world. You know, not only in the business world, but all in the world in general.
absolutely, absolutely.
But thank you so much for sharing that. Now, network organizations. Do you belong to any spheres of influence or network organizations? I know you belong to NowWake. We're going to talk about that, but any others before that?
Yeah. So talking about compassion, just circling back on that, I do a lot of community outreach work with Catholic Charities of Brooklyn and Queens. They are very near and dear to my heart. I do that to honor my father's memory. He passed away 3 years ago. So,
Sorry for the loss.
um, yeah, thank you. So I've been, doing that for 3 years now. I've been involved with the Irish American Building Society and their committees, the Building and Realty Institute for their women's committee, as well as the Queens and Bronx Building Association, and their women's committee, the Arthritis Foundation, National Hispanic Business Group, Queens Chamber. I've been on the board for the Women in Business as well for the New York City chapter. And of course, vice president of National Association of Women in Construction, which tops everything.
Wow, amazing! What that led up to. Wow, amazing! And that's just truly
Yeah.
amazing. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that. So tell us, yeah, talk about NowWake because I know we have an upcoming gala, upcoming event, I believe, right?
Yes, yes. So we are having our first gala ever, September 19th. I encourage everyone to come celebrate with us. It's super monumental, especially with the changes that Genesee and I have been doing a lot within the organization. Um,
Yeah.
NAWIC has also provided an amazing platform and experience within the sisterhood that I honestly never thought that I could have, along with the guidance and leadership. So with the gala, we're trying to create that positive change and encourage everybody to come together under one roof.
I mean, I've been to some of your events, and I gotta say, it's just wonderful. Like, the great people, it just the camaraderie. It just, I love the community. It's great. You guys built a great community. So
Thank
it's
you,
just, I don't
thank
know,
you.
no, it's wonderful, and I commend you guys. I can't wait
Thank
to be there. And now we're gonna talk about your company. What tell us about what does K4 Construction do? Tell us about the services of K4 Construction.
Nice. So we specialize in interior fit outs across the medical, educational, retail, and luxury living throughout New York City, Westchester, Brooklyn, New Jersey, Connecticut, Florida. We do all of our in-house carpentry, and then we sub out all of our MEPs.
Okay, excellent. And how many years have you been I mean, around the company? I mean, the,
So we've been around, K4 Construction has been around for 8 years.
okay.
For Kevin Joyce, who's the owner, he's been in the industry for over 40 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he has been around a long time and has an extensive expertise in this field. So being being under his leadership has been amazing for
Oh,
sure.
nice. Yeah, definitely. And you hit a lot of industries that you touched. A lot of industries. Any other new industries you're working on, or I mean, because I know it's a lot that you guys are working on.
Yeah, so with that, we have decided to grow K4, the brand K4 laterally, and we partnered up and opened up K4 Tirado Group, which I am the president at. So we are offering project management services for my company. The idea is to eventually become a full service general contractor in the public sector. So, and keeping K4 Construction running, of course, as a general contractor working on the private side.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's amazing. I like
Yeah,
that. Yeah, it's just kind of like keeping it in the network, and it's nice. I like that. It's one of those.
absolutely. Construction has definitely grown on me. I love it. And 14 years in, I'm still growing, learning, evolving, and keeps me excited. You can never go wrong with the construction industry for sure.
Absolutely. Well, Jasmine, thank you so much for sharing your information. And if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
You can visit our website at www.k4construction.com. You can visit our Facebook, our Instagram, at K4 Construction.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And if you want to be a guest on Winning on Wednesday, simply go to our website, www.winningonwednesday.com, and sign up as a first time guest. We hope to see you, and thank you again.
Thank you.